Consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain, rather it exists independently as a fundamental aspect of reality. Traditional materialist science views consciousness as emerging from neural activity, but this theory suggests it is a primary element of the universe, much like space, time, and energy. Reality is holistic and interconnected. Classical physics breaks things into parts, but quantum mechanics shows that everything is fundamentally entangled. The universe is dynamic, meaning it constantly changes and evolves, and it seeks to know itself. This drive for self-awareness is embedded in the structure of existence. In classical physics, information is deterministic, meaning it follows strict cause and effect relationships. Quantum information, however, is different. It represents subjective experience and is tied to the state of consciousness itself. The collapse of the wave function, the process by which a quantum state becomes a definite outcome, is not just random but is actually a free will decision made by the quantum field. This suggests that free will exists at the quantum level, contradicting the idea that all actions are predetermined by physical laws. The universe does not simply follow rigid mechanistic rules. It evolves based on choice and experience. Our perception of the world is not the actual reality, it is just a representation formed by the body and brain. Qualia, or subjective experiences such as the redness of red or the feeling of pain, cannot be reduced to mathematical formulas or replicated in machines. Classical science assumes that everything can be measured and quantified, but consciousness and meaning cannot be captured by these methods. Mathematics itself is created by consciousness, meaning it cannot be used to explain consciousness. This contradicts efforts to mathematically define free will or self-awareness. The fundamental reality is meaning-based, not matter-based. We construct understanding through experience, not through equations alone. AI can process massive amounts of data, but it does not have conscious experience or free will. It does not know anything in the way humans do. The idea that AI could surpass human intelligence misunderstands what intelligence actually is. It is not just computation, but understanding. The current scientific paradigm is based on materialist reductionism, which views everything as a product of physical interactions. This approach ignores or dismisses consciousness, creating an incomplete model of reality. Consciousness is not confined to the body. It exists as a field that interacts with the body but is not dependent on it. The ego, or the sense of self that identifies with the physical body, disappears at death, allowing a broader awareness of reality. Near-death experiences, often referred to as NDEs, suggest that people retain consciousness even when their brain activity has stopped. Many NDE accounts describe individuals seeing themselves from outside their body, encountering deceased loved ones, and experiencing states of peace and expanded awareness. These experiences challenge the idea that consciousness is purely a product of brain activity. The materialist scientific framework limits our understanding of reality by dismissing consciousness as a secondary phenomenon. A new paradigm is needed, one that integrates science and spirituality rather than treating them as opposing forces. Many ancient spiritual traditions, such as Vedanta and Greek philosophy, recognize the importance of self-awareness, but modern science has largely ignored these insights. If science focused on understanding consciousness, we could achieve more breakthroughs in a decade than in the entire history of science. The universe seeks to understand itself, and each individual consciousness is a fragment of this larger awareness. The process of self-awareness creates new realities. Each time the universe sees itself, it generates new aspects of existence. Space expands because knowledge expands. As more is learned, the structure of reality itself grows. There is no end to this process. Reality continuously evolves as it seeks to understand itself. The current world operates on competition and power structures, which prevent cooperation and deeper understanding. If people had direct experiences of self-awareness, they would naturally choose cooperation over competition. True growth comes from becoming better than we were before, not from defeating others. Once humans recognize their true nature, the desire to control and dominate others will diminish. The theory suggests that even trees and plants have consciousness, and experiments could be conducted to test this idea. If consciousness exists beyond the brain, then it should be possible to demonstrate awareness in organisms without a central nervous system. Research into quantum biology and quantum consciousness could help validate these claims. Understanding how consciousness interacts with quantum fields could lead to entirely new forms of technology. The next great human achievement will not be in physics or technology, but in the exploration of consciousness. If consciousness is fundamental, then understanding it could allow us to transcend space, time, and physical limitations. Many spiritual traditions describe experiences of out-of-body travel, expanded perception, and deep interconnectedness, all of which suggest consciousness is not limited to physical existence. True knowledge comes from direct experience, not just intellectual study. Combining scientific rigor with personal exploration is the key to unlocking deeper truths. The materialist worldview is reaching its limits. It cannot explain consciousness, free will, or subjective experience. A shift toward a holistic, consciousness-centered model of reality could lead to new scientific discoveries, technological advances, and a more cooperative society. The ultimate goal is not just knowledge, but meaning, and meaning comes from understanding the inner as well as the outer world. If society embraces this perspective, we could see new scientific fields studying consciousness beyond the brain. Breakthroughs in AI and technology that work with human consciousness rather than trying to replace it. A transformation in human values, shifting from competition to cooperation. Deeper exploration of reality, moving beyond physical science into direct experiences of consciousness. The moment science starts studying consciousness, we will achieve more in a decade than in the entire history of science.